In the riverside village of Okoloba, there were many things people liked to gossip about, but no name rolled off tongues as often as Tamuno's. He was the kind of boy you either admired or couldn't stand. Tamuno was tall, dark, with sharp shoulders and a bold walk that made him look like he owned every piece of ground he stepped on. But what everyone noticed first, what no one could ignore, was his nose. Big and wide, it sat in the middle of his face like a chief at a council meeting. People joked that if Tamuno sneezed, rain would fall in 3 villages. Some said it looked like a yam tuber resting on his face. His face wasn't handsome in the usual way. His lips were thick, his teeth uneven, and his eyes always carried a look that dared you to say something. But none of that really mattered. What made people talk was his mouth, sharp, fearless, and the way he carried himself like no one could touch him. Tamuno had a reputation. Not just because of his looks, but because he fought. Words, fist, whatever worked. He didn't let things slide, whether it was from boys at the creek or the old women selling fish in the market. One morning at the riverside market, he passed a group of women cutting okra. As he walked by, heads turned, and one whispered, "There goes Tamuno. That boy with the nose like a canoe. He thinks he's untouchable." Tamuno heard her clearly. He stopped and turned, fixing his gaze on them. "Say it again. Loudly this time. Let your teeth feel brave." The women froze. Tamuno wasn't one you mocked to his face. He marched straight to Madame Fioro, who ran the fish stall and had been spreading rumors about him for weeks. "Auntie Fioro," he said, loud enough for the whole market to hear. "You say I'm a disgrace, that I bring shame to my mother. Say it again to my face. Let's hear it from your own mouth." Fioro was tough, but Tamuno was tougher. She stood her ground. "You don't respect anyone. You fight your elders. You disturb this village. Is that what a real man does?" The market fell silent. Then Tamuno knocked over her tray of fish and shouted, "Respect is earned, not borrowed like canoe paddle." Chaos followed. They shoved, shouted, cursed. Someone tried to break the fight, but no one really wanted to step in. Tamuno had the strength of 3 men, and he didn't fear anyone. When he got home, his mother was waiting. She stood outside their wooden house, arms folded. "Tamuno. What is it this time? I heard you fought Madame Fioro in the market." Tamuno shrugged. She ran her mouth. "I shot it. Simple." His mother's voice trembled. "You are turning into a stranger. I didn't raise you to be like this." Tamuno rolled his eyes. "I didn't ask to be like anybody else. Let me be me." That night, as he lay on his mat, the whole village buzzed with gossip. People no longer laughed about his nose. They feared his temper. Some started saying he would bring ruin to his family. Mama Tamuno sat in her room, staring at the wall, whispering to herself, if this boy fights again, they might really banish him. The next day, the elders called a meeting in the town square. The sun was hot, and the dusty path was full of people heading toward the gathering. Everyone knew who it was about. Tamuno again. That boy will meet his end in trouble. Tamuno showed up in a clean red wrapper, head held high. He didn't care. The eldest man, Chief Parawari, stood and cleared his throat. "This village is losing peace. And it's because of one person, Tamuno, son of Silke." All eyes turned. Tamuno crossed his arms. "Talk your talk. I'm here." The crowd murmured. Madame Fioro stood with a scarf around her bruised arm. "He beat me like a thief. What lesson does that teach our boys?" Someone yelled, "He needs punishment." But then a strange voice broke in. It was Brebo, the village drunk. He stumbled forward. "Leave the boy alone. You're just jealous of his confidence. If his nose was small, you wouldn't care." The crowd laughed, But the elders didn't. Back home, Mama Tamuno confronted Tamuno again. "You're becoming a shame to me." Tamuno raised his voice. "The village is mad, not me. They just don't like that I don't kneel and beg like others." Mama Tamuno pointed at him. "I carried you in my womb, fed you from nothing, and this is how you repay me." Tamuno shouted back. "I won't live soft like the others." Then something unexpected happened. She raised her hand to slap him. But Tamuno caught it, firm, calm, without fear. "Mama, don't." That night, he sat outside looking at the moon. For once, he asked himself, why do I always fight? Why am I always angry? Just then, a girl named Ebiba walked by. She had just returned from Yenagoa, soft-spoken, gentle. She was the kind of girl who greeted everyone, even the ones who didn't deserve it. "Tamuno," she said, "why don't you try peace for once?" He frowned. "You think peace will make people respect me?" "No," she said. "I think it will let you respect yourself." He didn't reply. But for the first time, he didn't feel like shouting. The next day, something happened. Tamuno knocked on Ebiba's grandmother's door. When Ebiba came out, he knelt down in front of her. "I'm sorry," he said. "I've been angry for too long." Ebiba helped him up and smiled. "You're stronger when you choose kindness." From that day, Tamuno started to change. It wasn't perfect. The village still watched him with caution. But the fight stopped. He listened more. He helped where he could. And slowly, Okoloba saw a new Tamuno. Still bold, still proud. But now, with peace in his heart. Being strong isn't about how loud you shout or how many fights you win. Real strength is when you choose peace over chaos, kindness over anger. You can still be bold without breaking others.